Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to all of my students in online class 2020. I hope everybody is fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. So, dear listeners, I would like to introduce myself. I am Muhammad Delal Hussain, Assistant Teacher of English, Kazirhat High School. So, dear listeners, we are going to take an important class for English for today, for class 10. So, dear listeners, we are going to our subject matter today. Here, dear listeners, we are going to here and there before festivals. So, here I can ask, where are they going? Village home. What do you mean? So, dear listeners, what do you mean? A root. We know root. That means birthplace or paternal address. This is so much important for anybody. Our today's lesson is, so listeners, our today's lesson is my root. Unit 12, lesson first. So, dear listeners, we are going to our learning outcomes today. After we have studied this lesson, we will be able to ask and answer questions, incidents and events in a logical sequence. Present information in a chart. Read and understand the text through silent reading. So, dear listeners, we understand our learning outcomes today. So, look at the pictures and caption below. What do you see in this picture? Going to village home. Going to village home is must that may be at any cost. So, listeners, we know what is Eid. Eid is the main religious festivals of the Muslims in Bangladesh. Eid means happiness. So, listeners, here is say few pictures. Here, everyone wants to share happiness with their near and dear ones during Eid. So, what happens then? আমরা জানি তারপরে কি ঘটে so most of the people who are living outside their home for different reasons have a strong desire to get back home during the Eid vacations. As a result, there is a main rush in the bushes, in the buses, trains, or launches for the homes bound for the. So, what is caused afterwards? Maybe accident. Can we stop people's desire to meet their family, in-laws, or friends? No, isn't it? What makes people rush for their homes in spite of serious hazards? This is the pull of the roots, isn't it? So, dear listeners, do human beings have like this? Roots like the trees? The answer is yes. Like this, but unlike the roots of the trees, they are invisible. They lie in our minds. Dear learners, let us have a tour from the text directly. Know the rest about roots. Open your book first at page 141 and start reading. It's these roots that make a bond between feelings, emotions like feel empty and lost silently. I am always be with you. So, listeners, read the text here first. If we read the text, we can observe here feelings and ideas. So, we read here. In these roots that make a bond between us and family members, in-laws, friends, neighbors, or even between us and the land where we are born and grow up. In that sense, our families and land of birth, relatives, our culture, traditions, and surroundings are our roots. And wherever we stay, we have a continuous pool of our roots. It's our roots that develop our identity, making us what we are. So, when we lose that bond, we become rootless. Human beings who do not have any root or context are non-enmity. So, in other words, they do not have their own identity, such as persons are devoid of values, humanity, and social responsibilities. They don't know where they are from and where they are heading towards. This often makes them feel empty and lost. So, listeners, we read here. So, listeners, read the text in the speech bubbles, make questions for them, and then compare in pairs. Here, it is the main religious festival of the Muslim in Bangladesh. It means happiness. In that sense, our families, land of birth, relatives, culture, tradition, or surrounding are our roots. It's our root that develop our identity, making us what we are. So, listeners, we are going to our home task today. We have to complete this table from by following above information, filling the word with appropriate information from the text table. So, dear listeners, we write this. This is our homework, and so listeners also like this. So, listeners, we have to remember that in this time we have to keep it safe so that we can be fit in our activities and our study. So, listeners, no more today. See you another class, another time. Goodbye.